And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is a Baze Malbus review. Now, really quick before we get the review going, I have a new layout for my in-depth character reviews. Starting today, it will follow the same format, but be exceptionally shortened. The video of gameplay will be integrated into all of the character reviews. So, Baze Malbus, he's a light side rebel tank. He is a fearsome rebel tank who taunts, he dispels buffs, and he inflicts debuffs. Where to farm? Currently, Baze Malbus is only available in chromium packs. Occasionally, he pops his head under shipments. His overall power before mods, maxed out, is 9568. That is 9,568. That is the third highest overall power in the game. Speed, 90. He makes Darth Maul look fast. He is the slowest character in the game. Health, 28,445. That is the fourth best health in the game. Overall, if you're down and dirty and wanting to know exactly what his Galaxy Star rating is, he has a Galaxy Star rating of 4 without his buddy turret. With his buddy turret, he's a Galaxy Star rating of 5. If you're unsure of what that is, please go and watch my previous video called Galaxy Star Rating, All Characters Rated. Gear. If you are going to have to gear this character up, he is the 5th worst character on cost for credits. The average for gear is 3.5 raid pieces. He's right at the average of 3 raid gear parts. But he gets worse after raid gear. For the gold pieces, the average is 220. He is at 330 gold, well above the average. For purple, 1105 is average. He's at 1340. I will tell you, you will not hate Carbantes and Mark III stun cuffs more than when you are trying to level up and gear Baze Malbus. Miscellaneous information, I'll tell you, he's as sweet as cinnamon roll on a Sunday morning. He has synergy with rebels. He absolutely needs his buddy turret. He will suppress the buffs. He's got 4 abilities that have some sort of a play with turret. So he's definitely rebel comped, but specifically with turret. Fun facts. He is number 3 in highest power rating in the game for overall power rating. Number 4, highest health in the game. Number 7, top ability overall with fierce reprisal. Number 7th best armor rating in the game. Number 10 top protection in the game. And number 11 top potency at 48% natural potency in the game. Abilities. First, let's go through abilities and then we will do mods. So his basic is called Heavy Repeater Cannon. It deals physical damage to a target enemy with a 70% chance to inflict speed down for 3 turns. If turret, Imwe, is present, he gains turn meter. This is the first of 4 abilities that turret gains a benefit from. Hence, if turret is not with Baze, he will not get these bonuses, limiting the benefits of the Baze turret combo. The Heavy Repeater Cannon does between 2,600 and 2,900 damage, which is about average, but it gives turret turn meter, and he's very similar to Fives in that he is a tank, and on his basic, he puts speed down. Now, with Fives, he puts speed down as long as the potency allows for it. This is only a 70% chance of speed down, so it will not happen every single time. Unload. It is a special with a cooldown of 3. It deals physical damage to all enemies, and it dispels all buffs on them. Empire enemies and enemies who were not buffed take bonus damage equal to 25% of their max health. If turret Imwe is present, he is called to assist. Number 2 ability, where Chirrut gains a bonus. Again, the synergy with Chirrut is here. So not only will he shoot his unload, which does, by the way, the second worst amount of damage for an AoE, but that is not what it's designed to do. It is designed to take away and dispel all buffs on the entire team. If a team has 2, maybe 3 tanks, this renders them essentially useless. So this is a way for him to dispel taunts and or a team that buffs, such as a Jedi team. Jedi teams buff themselves quite often and gain all of that. If they have a Yoda across the way and they're about to spread all the love, he can take all the green over their head and take it gone. Now, this is where the unload is awesome. He has the assist that comes from Chirrut. So if you're able to get Chirrut through the tournaments, Chirrut will assist. His assist will probably give you between 5 to 12,000 on his basic. So it does actually, in fact, matter who you're targeting when you do this AoE if you have Chirrut, because Chirrut will come swing in and hit whoever it is that you have targeted. Now, it is considered the second worst AoE as far as base damage, except there is a special perk with this. If they do not have a buff, or if they are Empire, so any Empire or enemies that are not buffed, they will take bonus damage. This is additional damage, more than the original 16 to 1700 damage. On top of that, that's equal to 25% of the max health. Now, the average character's health in the game is around 21,500. 25% of that is around 5,400 health damage, plus the 16 to 1,800 damage, putting you somewhere in the ballpark of 7,000 damage per person that is either Empire or not buffed. So a strategy on unload, even if they aren't buffed yet, and even if the tank has not taunted yet, you could still shoot unload, AoEing everybody, damaging them all for an average of approximately 7,000 total health, and calling Chirrut to hit whoever it is that you have targeted. Unload is awesome. Fierce Reprisal. It is a special. It has a cooldown of 3, just like Unload, and this is his other way of taking out somebody who's taunting or has positive buffs that you're worried about, such as Yoda. It will deal physical damage to a target enemy and dispel all buffs on them. For each buff dispelled, it will inflict the opposite, if possible, for 2 turns. So a taunt cannot be opposite to an untaunt. That doesn't exist. But if they have offense up and you hit them with this, it will give them offense down. If they have tenacity up, it will put them tenacity down. One of my favorite things to do is to use him against the Biggs wedge combo. And when Biggs gets evasion up and has his critical chance up, hitting him with this Fierce Reprisal gives him critical chance down and evasion down, making Biggs all the easier to hit and kill. Fierce Reprisal is the 7th top overall ability in the game. It deals, without a critical damage hit, 7,500 to 8,400 damage. With a crit, that's around 15 to 20,000 damage on Fierce Reprisal. So it's physical damage, just like his heavy repeater cannon is, but it dispels and basically gives them the opposite buff turned into a debuff for 2 turns. Now, this is a single target debuff versus Unload with the previous AoE, which hits everybody. He has 2 uniques. Let's go through the first one. For Jedha. For Jedha is a unique, and it says Baze Malbus gains taunt and retribution, which means he's going to taunt and fight back. Whenever he gets hit, he'll hit back at the start of each encounter, whenever an enemy's defeated, and whenever Chirrut falls below 100% health. So there are 3 situations where he is going to automatically taunt and get retribution. That's the start of the encounter, kind of like Shore Trooper. When an enemy is defeated, that's going to throw a wrench into your enemy's plans. Right after they lose someone on their side, all of a sudden he gains taunt, and who they were trying to finish off, they won't be able to finish off because now they got to go back to Baze. And if Chirrut falls below 100% health, kind of like Royal Guard does for everybody else when they fall below 50% health, except it's below 100% health, so it is even better than Royal Guard, but it's exclusive to Chirrut. So Baze really has that significant synergy again with Chirrut here. His counter is with Retribution is essentially 100% counter chance, because that's what Retribution is. So speed with Baze is going to be slightly less important. Still important, but less important because he has that Retribution and he will be hitting back. Also, Baze Malbus gains turn meter whenever an enemy gains a buff. As all teams, the idea of the game is to buff your team as much as you can and to debuff the other team as much as you can. Everybody's playing by the same set of rules and is doing the same thing. This is going to punish them for buffing their team because it will speed Baze Malbus up significantly, allowing him to take advantage of his two specials, Unload, his AoE, and Fierce Reprisal, both of which remove those buffs that they're using that are giving him the turn meter to get to go faster. Now, the last unique is called Dauntless Courage. Baze Malbus will gain max health equal to 20% of his max health. Now, this is important when you think about modding him, to think about throwing some health mods on, because this can raise his max health, and Chirrut Imwe is going to also gain this max health bonus. Now, for my Baze Malbus, 20% of his boost of his own health is approximately an extra 6,500 health added to his base health, plus given to Chirrut. This is the fourth synergy he has with Chirrut. Dauntless Courage, this unique. For Jeddah, his unique. In addition to that, his Unload, getting the assist with Chirrut, and Heavy Repeater Cannon, giving Chirrut turn meter on his basic. Mods. Now let's look at the mods that it takes to make him who he is. He is a phenomenal character. He has some abilities that require him to have high health, so that way he can boost his and Chirrut's health. He has an ability, his basic, which applies speed down 70% of the time, needing potency, although he is number 11th highest potency naturally. And you are going to have him hit because he is taunting often with Chirrut falling below 100% health at the start of the encounters or anytime an enemy is defeated. So he is going to be targeted, and more than likely there will be one or more people trying to stun him. So my suggestion, this is my opinion, is that you mod him with potency, tenacity, and health. Health to help his Dauntless Courage unique, potency to help him with his Heavy Repeater Cannon, and tenacity overall to help him with not being stunned. Now, you could take out the tenacity set for another set of health, or you could even have fun taking out the tenacity and potency and putting in a speed set for set bonuses. But I chose to balance my Baze Malbus out and use a health set, a tenacity set, and a potency set. Now let's take a look at these mods. On the top left transmitter, I have, of course, primary as offense. I had secondary stats of speed, defense, protection, and health. The secondary stats you will be looking for on all mods will be health, protection, potency, and speed. If you can get tenacity as well, that would be good. There are a lot of secondary stats that will benefit him, but obviously health for Dauntless Courage and overall durability, protection for overall durability, potency or tenacity as secondary stats to help increase his overall potency for his basic, and his tenacity for the ability as a tank to not be stunned. Speed, he is the slowest character in the game, so any speed you can add will be beneficial. You can see I added protection and speed as a secondary. On the processor, of course, it's always defense. I had tenacity, health, and speed as secondaries. On the data bus, I added protection. This could be protection or health. Health was a thought because of his Dauntless Courage, but I went ahead and went to make him tankier, and protection is a bigger bang for your buck. I added 8 speed It had potency and tenacity, so this was an excellent mod for Baze as well. On the top right, tenacity receiver, I added 30 speed, protection, and a little bit sprinkled in offense. In the middle right, hollow array, I could have done critical damage just to make him a heavier hitter since he does get quite a few return hits, but I chose again to make him tankier by adding another set of protection, increasing his critical chance, giving him additional health, and adding an additional 8 speed. On the multiplexer bottom right, I thought highly of putting tenacity in here, but again, I wanted to make him as tanky as possible and had some tenacity adds with the other mods, so I went ahead and went with protection. It added potency and some defense in there as well with some very superficial health. Now, what does my Baze Malbus look like? Of course, because he is a tank, his strength is exceptionally high, but he is average with agility and tactics. For his health and protection, I have him at about 83,000, which is not the highest health and protection character I have, but that is definitely high enough and sufficient enough, especially because of the synergy with Chirrut and the health that he's constantly receiving from Chirrut and their synergy. Now at speed, he was the slowest character at 90. I was able to get him to a Parsley 145, which again is very slow. However, he gains lots of turn meter through your opposing team getting buffs, so that will speed him up as well. And he counters with his basic taunt. He gets retribution with his taunt. I did not do anything with his critical damage, but you could if you wanted to. His potency is naturally high, but I was able to add almost 15%, giving him about 63% potency, almost 63% potency, which is sufficient for his heavy repeater cannon to apply the speed down. His tenacity is just over 50%, which I added almost 20% tenacity. That should be sufficient for preventing stuns half the time. And he has an average health steal at 15%, which means for everything he lays down damage, he'll get 15% of that back. For a tank, he is one of the heaviest hitter tanks in the game, with his physical damage being 2670. That's phenomenal. His critical chance is about a third of the time. His armor penetration is a Parsley 44, which is not very hard, but his armor is pretty dang high in the game at 38%. That is pretty dang high. Like I said, he's got the 7th highest armor rate of all characters, with obviously most of those armor rates being from tanks. His special damage and his special critical do not matter because his heavy repeater cannon, his unload AoE, and his fierce reprisal are all physical damage, not special damage. So there you have it. There is Baze Malbus. I hope you love this video. I hope this shortened version helps you to see all of the strengths. I, again, would give him an overall Galaxy Star rating of 4, as he is a phenomenal tank overall, but he lacks synergy unless he's in a Rebel team. If you put him in a team with Chirrut, he is absolutely unequivocally a Galaxy Star rating of 5, and I would say that between him and Chirrut, that pair, that combination, is one of the currently most overpowered synergistic teams in the game. What do you think of Baze Malbus? Leave your comments down below. Again, I thank you for watching. Please like, share these videos with your teammates. Subscribe to my channel so you can get all my future videos. Keep your gaming on. Warrior out.